Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Good morning. The devotional today will be led by Josh Compton of Windsor.
Good morning. I'm Josh, and this is my son, Truman. I teach public speaking, but I plan to do very little public speaking this morning because I want Truman to take the lead during this devotional. Truman is autistic, and he's non-speaking, so I don't know what to expect he'll share with us. He might remain quiet, he might make some noise, he might wiggle around, he might remain still, he might use his electronic device to communicate with us. But whatever he decides, I hope that we can not only acknowledge him, but also welcome him. Because as far as I'm concerned, what he's about to share is his poem. What do you think? Do you see the people? Thank you for your witness.
Members, we have received requests to read 3 House concurrent resolutions that the House and Senate adopted pursuant to the consent calendar. The first is HCR 64, which is a House concurrent resolution congratulating Caitlin McLeod of Winooski High School on her selection as the 2025 Teacher of the Year, and Jeremy Demink of Edmonds Middle School in Burlington and Sonia Shed of Wolcott Elementary School on their recognition as distinguished finalists. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas, since 1964, the Agency of Education has honored an outstanding educator as the Vermont Teacher of the Year. And whereas for 2025, the agency is pleased to bestow this honor on Caitlin McLeod-Bluver, a teacher of English and history and reading specialist at Winooski High School, who also serves as an adjunct faculty member at the University of Vermont and previously taught in Boston, Massachusetts and Juneau, Alaska. And whereas her academic and professional credentials are extremely impressive, as she is a graduate of Wesleyan University, earned a master's degree from the University of Massachusetts at Boston, an advanced certificate in literacy and language from Massachusetts General Hospital's Institute of Health Professions, and an advanced certificate in leadership from the Perron Sizer Institute for Creative Leadership, and served at the National Geographic Society as a Grosvenor Teaching Fellow and Summer Teaching Fellow, and at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration as a Planetary Steward. And whereas she adeptly applies her experience working with refugee and immigrant students in Boston, Massachusetts, to her multilingual and multinational Winooski classroom, developing a curriculum reflective of their diverse backgrounds, and she is an exceptional educator who inspires her students and makes them feel respected and valued. And whereas distinguished finalists Jeremy Demink and Sonia Shed are outstanding educators who enrich their classrooms. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly congratulates Caitlin McLeod-Bluver of Winooski High School on her selection as 2025 Vermont Teacher of the Year, and Jeremy Demink of Edmonds Middle School in Burlington and Sonia Shed of Wolcott Elementary School in their recognition as distinguished finalists. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to each of these honored teachers.
Next is HCR 117, which is a House concurrent resolution congratulating Essex Middle School science teacher Andrew Kesperson on his designation as the 2025 Vermont finalist for the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas, since Congress established this program in 1983, the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching, PAEMST, which the National Science Foundation, NSF, administers on behalf of the Office of the President and White House of Science and Technology Policy, OSTP, has been the federal government's highest recognition for K through 12 math and science teachers. And whereas PAEMST recognizes the importance of elementary and secondary school educators in encouraging students to pursue mathematics, engineering, computer science, and natural science education in the classroom and as a potential career. And whereas jurisdictional finalists for this prestigious honor are selected through a rigorous review process in each state, the District of Columbia, American Territories, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. And whereas the 2025 PAEMST Vermont finalist is Essex Middle School science teacher Andrew Casperson, a distinguished public educator whose teaching excellence at the Vermont Academy of Science and Engineering has been previously recognized. And whereas Andrew Casperson directs his students to examine topics as if they were scientists and not merely reading information from a book. And he poses questions to the students that guide them through an innovative applied learning process, incorporating real-world phenomena. And whereas this exemplary practitioner of secondary school science pedagogy is a superb choice for a designation as the Vermont finalist. And whereas once the jurisdictional finalists are selected, the NSF convenes a national selection committee. The committee then evaluates the finalists and recommends 2 per jurisdiction, assuming the jurisdiction had a minimum of 2 finalists, to the OSTP for national finalist recognition. And the national finalists attend a special conference in Washington, D.C., which has historically featured a presidential event. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly congratulates Essex Middle School science teacher Andrew Casperson on his designation as the 2025 Vermont finalist for the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to Andrew Casperson.
And finally, HCR 118 is a House concurrent resolution commending Team Trumie and Truman Compton for their advocacy, community engagement, and fostering of public awareness and acceptance of autism. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas shortly before his 2nd birthday in 2017, Truman Compton was diagnosed with autism, and shortly thereafter, the informal community of family and friends known as Team Trumie was established to provide love and support for Truman and to foster community awareness and acceptance of autism. And whereas Team Trumie, now more than 50 volunteers strong, has raised funds for the Special Needs Support Center of the Upper Valley, participated in community walks, donated books about autism or featuring characters with autism to Windsor County classrooms and libraries, and donated sensory kits to the Windsor Fire and Police Departments for first responders' use. And whereas this special support group has designed unique shirts, celebrated Truman's personal milestones, and created the slogan, "Let's learn more about autism together." And the international distribution of Team Trumie postcards featuring this unifying slogan has sparked worldwide conversations. And whereas the efforts of Team Trumie to reflect a profound desire to create a world where disability and differences are not hidden but embraced. And whereas Truman and his family have actively engaged with their local community through their presence at public venues, established an initiative to improve support for students with special needs through installation of outdoor picture-based communication boards on school playgrounds, and launched a project to establish a parent caregiver special education advisory committee in Windsor County. And whereas Truman has bravely and effectively participated in classroom presentations alongside his family, sharing personal insights about autism. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly commends Team Trumie and Truman Compton for their advocacy, community engagement, and fostering of public awareness and acceptance of autism. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the Compton family and to Team Trumie.
Are there any announcements? Member from Cavendish.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just heard a resolution celebrating the achievements of Truman Compton and Team Trumie, and a devotional introduced by 2 members of the Compton family. Trumie himself is a brave, creative, persevering 9-year-old kid. Autistic and non-speaking, the world's biggest fan of lemons, and a recent rejecter of his bicycle training wheels. He skis Mount Pico with his friends at Vermont Adaptive, hikes and camps at Mount Ascutney State Park, splashes around at Silver Lake, and explores his hometown of Windsor, the birthplace of Vermont. His dad, Josh, is a professor at Dartmouth. Mom, Laura, is a musician and a paraeducator. And his older brother, Henry, is a 5th grader, math whiz, and all-around great big brother. They are the 24/7 members of Team Trumie, an autism awareness and advocacy effort. Team Trumie stretches across the globe and has participated in local, regional, and national autism awareness efforts. The motto of Team Trumie is, "Let's learn more about autism together." And they place a special emphasis on those, the autism spectrum, who have high support needs, like Truman. Please help me to make the Compton family feel extra welcome during their visit to the State House and our chamber today. His mother and older brother are seated in the balcony. Josh and Truman are right in front of us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Will the guest and the member from Cavendish please rise and be recognized? Member from Montpelier.
Madam Speaker, we heard a resolution this morning congratulating some very distinguished public school teachers. Please help me extend a warm welcome to our 2025 Vermont State Teacher of the Year, Caitlin McLeod Bluver of Winooski High School. She's here with her dad and aunt. And our 2025 Vermont State Teacher of the Year finalists, Jeremy Demink from Edmonds Middle School and Sonia Shed of Walcott Elementary. Also in attendance to support these folks are our 2002 Vermont State Teacher of the Year, Janet Stewart, 2005 Vermont State Teacher of the Year, Karen Heath, and 2016 Vermont State Teacher of the Year, Susan Koch. Please help me welcome these folks to the People's House.
Will the guest and the member from Montpelier please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from Pittsford.
Madam Speaker, today it is my pleasure to introduce my guests and fellow members of the Vermont Covered Bridge Society to the People's House. Vermont has 100 covered bridges, the oldest being built in 1833, the Great Eddy or Village Covered Bridge in Waitsfield. In just 8 years, it will be 200 years old. VCBS is a 501c3 nonprofit organization incorporated in 2000 with a mission of preserving Vermont's covered bridges throughout direct grants and public education. To celebrate their 25th anniversary, Governor Scott recently declared August 2nd through the 9th, 2025 as Vermont Covered Bridge Week, as well as House Concurrent Resolution 129 to commemorate this anniversary, which is in today's calendar. The text was in yesterday's. Plans are underway in several Vermont communities, including Pittsford, which has its own 4 covered bridges, to make this week an especially good time to get out and see our iconic covered bridges and welcome tourists. Look for the banners that towns with covered bridges have purchased from VCBS. VCBS members are engaged covered bridge enthusiasts, and all of them are volunteers. You can visit vermontbridges.org to find information about covered bridges, events, meetings, and how to join this worthwhile organization. Thank you to Governor Scott and to all of you for recognizing Vermont Covered Bridge Society's 25th anniversary year. If you could please help me in introducing the members of the Vermont Covered Bridge Society who are here today.
Will the guest and the member from Pittsford please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from Charlotte.
Madam Speaker, I love doing things at the last minute, except for signing people up for cabaret. That will be stressful for everyone. So I just like to remind everyone it's next Thursday. And if it's too difficult to fill out the form, which I understand might be a challenge, it's not, but it seems like it is. You can just email me and tell me who is in the skit and what the name of it is so that we can put you on the program and who the contact person is. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Are there any further announcements? Member from Heinsberg.
Madam Speaker, tomorrow is Green Up Day, and Green Up is not about litter. It's about 55 years of community action. It's action that demonstrates we make our community better when we work together. Everyone can participate, no matter your age, education, political leanings, strength, or wealth. It demonstrates a love of community. It demonstrates a respect for our environment. And I invite everyone to join in and discover the joy of community action.
Are there any further announcements? Member from Middlebury.
Madam Speaker, I rise with a friendly reminder that Middlebury College professor Jessica Holmes's health, economy, and policy students will be in room 11 from noon to 1 today, presenting posters on a wide array of relevant healthcare topics they have been researching this semester. Please stop by room 11 in the noon hour to learn more about current topics in healthcare.
Are there any further announcements? Member from Springfield.
Madam Speaker, as a follow-up of last week's commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Unions Law, I just want to bring to the members' attention that the resolution is in our concurrent resolution pamphlet, and it is House Concurrent Resolution 127, if folks would care to read that. I also would like to introduce, we do have visiting today another member of our House Judiciary Committee that was a member of that committee at the time, and he's also here again with a former chair, Representative Tom Little. We also have a former member, Representative Mike Vinton, who was also a member of the House Judiciary Committee at the time, and I'd like to introduce them.
Will the former members please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, orders of the day. Members, we will begin with Joint Senate Resolution 15, which is a joint resolution supporting Vermont's transgender and non-binary community and declaring Vermont's commitment to fighting discrimination and treating all citizens with respect and dignity. Please listen to the third reading of the resolution.
JRS 15, a joint resolution supporting Vermont's transgender and non-binary community and declaring Vermont's commitment to fighting discrimination and treating all citizens with respect and dignity.
The question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. Next is House Bill 86, which is an act relating to establishing the chloride contamination reduction program at the Agency of Natural Resources. Member from East Montpelier.
Madam Speaker, I move that we postpone H86 one legislative day.
The member from East Montpelier moves that we postpone action on House Bill 86 for one legislative day. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have postponed action on House Bill 86 for one legislative day. Next is House Bill 248, which is an act relating to supplemental child care grants and the Child Care Financial Assistance Program. Member from Hartford.
Madam Speaker, I move that we delay action on H 248 until May 8th, 2025.
The member from Hartford moves that we postpone action on House Bill 248 until Thursday, May 8th. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have postponed action on House Bill 248 until next Thursday. Up next is House Bill 96, which is an act relating to increasing the monetary thresholds for certificates of need. The bill passed the Senate with a proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Bristol.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Happy to present more thrilling healthcare committee work. H96, the amendments from the Senate, you can find on page 1808 of our calendar. And a brief refresher, the bill H96 that was amended addresses a process called Certificate of Need process that was required by the federal government decades ago, and many states like us since then have found the process to be too burdensome, adding costs to the process of instituting new healthcare projects or investments. The certificate of need process is necessary to have oversight in how our public healthcare dollars are spent, and all of our healthcare dollars. But H96 has passed the House, increased the monetary thresholds that would trigger the certificate of need process. So those thresholds have not changed. There's been more of a formatting and consolidation that occurred in the amendments, and I'll go through those right now. So in the previous bill, the thresholds were described in two different sections, one for hospitals and then one for healthcare facilities other than hospitals. So what the Senate did was consolidate the language so that the thresholds that are described are all in one section for both hospitals and healthcare facilities, because the thresholds were exactly the same in both of those sections. So it just consolidated it into one section. There were two other changes. One was the Senate. Now I'm going to page 1811. Letter J, little letter J above the effective date. The Senate put back in an exclusion for state healthcare projects needing to go through the certificate of need process. And this exclusion was supported by the majority of stakeholders, in part because there's already substantial oversight in state government of these state projects. The last change is that this act will take effect on passage instead of a date in July. So your House Healthcare Committee heard the amendments and voted in favor of adopting the amendments on a straw poll vote of 10-0-1, and we ask for your support.
The question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have concurred in the Senate proposal of amendment. Next is Senate Bill 27, which is an act relating to medical debt relief and excluding the medical debt from credit reports. The Senate concurred in the House proposal of amendment with a further proposal of amendment thereto that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Newport City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd just like to refamiliarize everyone in the House on what S27 aims to accomplish. This bill assists Vermonters in relieving and excluding medical debt from credit reports. As you may remember, I discussed how medical debt is harming Americans and especially Vermonters. So this bill attempts to resolve this in a small part. As you stated, the Senate concurs and the House, and I should mention that you can follow along on page 1793 in today's calendar. And as you stated, the Senate concurs in the House proposal of amendment with further proposal of amendment thereto by striking out section 2 in its entirety. And what this does, as it says, it eliminates section 2. The one-time investment of $1 million that was originally proposed was to come from the Treasurer's office, has now been removed and has been allocated within our appropriations funding. Your House Healthcare took a straw poll on the Senate proposal of S27 and found in favor of the change by a vote of 10-0-1. And your House Healthcare Committee requests your support in voting in favor of S27. Thank you.
The question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have concurred in the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment. Member from St. Albans Town, can you please offer us a motion to suspend rules to take up for immediate consideration off the notice calendar House Bill 493, which is an act relating to making appropriations for the support of the government for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference?
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend rules to take up off the notice calendar for immediate consideration House Bill 493, which is an act relating to making appropriations for the support of government for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference.
The member from St. Albans Town moves that we suspend our rules to take up House Bill 493 for immediate consideration for the purposes of requesting a committee of conference. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended rules to take up House Bill 493 for immediate consideration. House Bill 493 is an act relating to making appropriations for the support of the government. The Senate passed the bill in concurrence with a proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Middlebury.
Madam Speaker, the House Appropriations Committee has reviewed the changes the Senate made to H 493, the FY26 budget. While the Senate agreed with many of the items that we approved in our version of the budget, there were also many areas that are either new to us or quite different from our version of the bill. As we would like to have further discussions about these differences, your House Appropriations Committee, on a straw poll of 11-0-0, voted to not concur with the Senate and to request a committee of conference to be formed to address these issues. Thank you.
The member from Middlebury moves that the House refuse to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and that a committee of conference be appointed. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have refused to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and requested a committee of conference. Pursuant to your action, the chair appoints the following members to serve on the part of the House: the member from Middlebury, Representative Schy; the member from Chittenden, Representative Harrison; and the member from Burlington, Representative Bloomley. Member from St. Albans Town, can you please offer us a motion to suspend rules to message our action on House Bill 493 to the Senate forthwith?
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend rules to message our action on House Bill 493 to the Senate forthwith.
The member from St. Albans Town moves that we suspend our rules to message our action on House Bill 493 to the Senate forthwith. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended rules to message our action on House Bill 493 to the Senate forthwith. Member from St. Albans Town, can you please offer us a motion to suspend our rules to take up for immediate consideration off the notice calendar House Bill 488, which is an act relating to the fiscal year 2026 transportation program and miscellaneous changes to laws related to transportation for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference?
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend rules to take up off the notice calendar for immediate consideration House Bill 488, which is an act relating to the fiscal year 2026 transportation program and miscellaneous changes to laws related to transportation for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference.
The member from St. Albans Town moves that we suspend our rules to take up House Bill 488 for immediate consideration for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended our rules to take up House Bill 488 for immediate consideration. House Bill 488 is an act relating to the fiscal year 2026 transportation program and miscellaneous changes to laws related to transportation. The Senate passed the bill in concurrence with a proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Swanton.
Madam Speaker, your Committee on Transportation reviewed the Senate version of H 488, known as the T-bill, with the Legislative Council and Joint Fiscal Office. Madam Speaker, we sent over 15 sections and 22 pages and have gotten back over 36 sections with more than double, almost triple the size of 50 plus pages. And upon review, your committee voted on a straw poll of 803 not to concur with the Senate version and request a committee of conference.
The member from Swanton moves that the House refuse to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and that a committee of conference be appointed. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have refused to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and requested a committee of conference. Pursuant to your action, the chair appoints the following members to serve on the part of the House: the member from Swanton, Representative Walker; the member from Bennington, Representative Corcoran; and the member from Brattleboro, Representative Burke. Member from St. Albans Town, can you please offer us a motion to suspend rules to message our action on House Bill 488 to the Senate forthwith?
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend rules to message our action on House Bill 488 to the Senate forthwith.
The member from St. Albans Town moves that we suspend our rules to message our action on House Bill 488 to the Senate forthwith. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended rules to message our action on House Bill 488 to the Senate forthwith. Members, that completes the orders of the day. Are there any announcements? Member from Westminster.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to let members know that today in the card room, NOFA, the Northeast Organic Farmers Association, is tabling. There are two members from NOFA that are here today, and they're at the table, so they're not in here to be introduced, but they did ask that I encourage folks to stop by, talk about food and farm programs, and grab some seeds to plant this season.
Member from Vergennes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One of the harbingers of spring in Vermont are, of course, the daffodils. The second sign of spring is the annual arrival of the beer guys. Jason Daly, John Dewey, and Bruce Whistler first met some legislator types back in 2016. Their enthusiasm for all things Vermont, especially our beer, endeared themselves to legislators back then. And as a result, long-term friendships were born. Many of those legislators have moved on. But to the tradition of this annual pilgrimage, it has continued, and this bond has been passed on to the next generation of members. To the beer guys, we thank you for your visit once again, and we look forward to next year's 10th anniversary as ambassadors of beer. Madam Speaker, I ask that the body join me in welcoming our guests seated in the upper gallery.
Will the guest of the member from Vergennes please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements, member from Stowe?
Madam Speaker, today we recognize Arbor Day in Vermont, a day that honors our deep connection to trees and to forests, which are truly a way of life here. Covering nearly 3/4 of our landscape, Vermont's trees support our well-being, fuel our local economy, and shape the character of our communities. They clean our air, our water, offer shade and beauty, support wildlife, and provide renewable resources that sustain jobs in forestry, recreation, and the trades. Arbor Day is not just about planting trees. It's a reminder of our shared responsibility to be good stewards of our forests and that have long supported Vermonters. Today, let us celebrate trees and continue to be caring for them so they can continue to care for us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, member from St. Albans Town, can you please offer us a motion to adjourn until Tuesday, May 6th at 10 a.m.?
Madam Speaker, I make a motion that this body stand in adjournment until Tuesday, May 6th, 2025 at 10 a.m.
You have heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and this body stands in adjournment until next Tuesday.